Hello, the wonderful world of YouTube, puffinfat here. Today, I'm going to tell the story of my channel. I know that sounds a bit lame, but, you know, I do what I do for views. Anyway, so, before we get into this, I kind of want to say that for anyone that's considering doing YouTube, I think it's a good idea. But I don't think it should be someone's core purpose, like core focus, really. But I do suggest that you don't give up with doing what you do enjoy. It's something that many people do, and it just ends up really putting them down. So, you know. But yeah, since I didn't realize it was the 2-year anniversary of the channel recently, I thought I'd make this video just talking about kind of the history of it, and kind of what I want to do with it from here. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing, as it really supports the channel, and be sure to comment down below if you want to see more of these types of videos. I talk about stories and fun facts about my channel, because I think this could be an interesting format for me. Please and thank you. Now, as a very quick disclaimer before we officially get into the video, I just want to say that I could not have done this without you guys. You guys have really motivated me to do YouTube every day, and I think that it is fantastic how we built this little community together. I won't go into anything too personal about my backstory, but I will say that it's a pretty interesting one for the channel, at least for me. Chapter 1, Origins. The date is the 22nd of August 2021. A channel known as puffinfat uploads their very first video. It's a low-gravity bubble glitch in the game Fortnite during Chapter 2, Season 7, also known as the Invasion Season. The purpose of the video was to start a YouTube career. Originally, I thought, oh well, it could just be a singular video and that'll be the only video I ever upload. But the more I played with the idea, the more I thought, how about I make my channel into a glitch-dedicated channel? For those of you who still watch me to this day, you will know that I have not really uploaded any glitches ever since this video, and that's because I don't really want to get banned by any developers, and I also don't want to encourage cheating. Luckily, this one was very light in terms of glitching, because it was only accessible in a singular mode known as Battle Lab, where you can basically just explore the island, do whatever you want. I had no microphone during this time, and this was the beginning of the channel. However, I did not upload any videos for a few years, because, once again, like I said earlier, I wasn't sure if I was going to do YouTube again. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do another video. But the video was successful, and I started my channel with 13 subscribers. And right now, at the time of recording, this has 81 views. It was also featured on a few YouTube videos by popular content creators. So that was nice to see, and obviously it was the genesis for what we have now on the puffinfat channel, gaming and just having an absolute blast with like goofy content and just overall trying to bring fun into gaming again. I would obviously return years later, but that's the next part of the story. Chapter 2, a return and a rebrand. The date is the 12th of April 2024, and well, the footage in the background is from the Marvel season, but I uploaded for the first time in ages during the Avatar update during the Greek God season of Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2. Yeah, I didn't like that season. It was probably one of the worst times to come back. But anyway, I came back, and this time I had a microphone. Only downside was I didn't have an editing software. So basically the whole video was me uncut, trying to fight against people using the Avatar weapons. Because at the time, it was absolutely chaotic. For anyone who remembers anything during that season, you will know that during the Myths and Mortals season, they got rid of everything that made that season original, which was really frustrating and probably just an absolute pain on the developers, in my opinion, because they spend all that time working on that crap and then they just get rid of it. Pointless. Anyways, I come back, and the video is like 41 minutes long, Jesus Christ, and I end up winning. during this time as well, I also didn't have my green branding because at the time I wasn't too sure like what I wanted to do with the channel. But during this time, I also renamed the name of my friend group to Delta. Delta, if you don't know, then this is a quick rundown for it. It's essentially a group of friends and people, and basically just a community of fantastic people who try and kind of bring the fun back into gaming. Everyone is like kind of in charge of like a certain genre, and I find myself to be the leader. Now the foundation of Delta does happen in between the return of puffinfat and the first video I ever uploaded. And also during this time, I started uploading on Twitch. So you'd have the video on YouTube, and then during that break in between, I tried out Twitch to see if it would work. And I mainly did that for Chapter 4. None of the videos exist anymore because I don't really use Twitch and I don't know how to save videos on it. But I did upload during Chapter 4. And I did okay. I didn't focus on Fortnite content as like the primary subjects, but it did roll around eventually. And the kind of format of my videos did change once I started using my new software that I found on PlayStation. Because in case you don't know, my editing software is Share Factory. Now, Share Factory is exclusive to PlayStation, at least as far as I'm aware, so that means that any of my friends who are trying to become YouTubers on different platforms, unfortunately, they can't use the same editing software as me. However, it has since kind of decreased the length of my videos because it saves them from being at least 40 minutes long, and it has overall brought in more viewers because I can work with thumbnails and I can change whatever I want about the video, whereas before I couldn't do that. The only thing I could do was just put text on a still image. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy with Share Factory. I've tried changing it a few times, but I just find that nothing really suits me compared to Share Factory. I know small YouTubers tend to use it, but anyway, moving on. The return normally like would be just like someone saying to the camera, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry I went away. I ended up like just having severe mental health issues and all that." But for me, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do YouTube, and I still did not use Facecam. I still don't to this day. And as well, I didn't have my green branding because at the time I just took an image off of Google, so my branding instead of green was actually supposed to be blue. But I didn't want to go with a blue colour because I just think that was a bit generic. So I used a brand new editing software known as Canva, at least temporarily until I could find that Share Factory worked for me. So I'd have two editing softwares, one of them using for like promotional stuff, and the other one was for YouTube. And at this time, I thought that Share Factory was the better option. So eventually, the final thing I did with Canva was make the channel logo. The soldier that we know and love to this day, and I don't plan to change, is currently the subscriber. Like, it's basically where you see the subscribers, the channel logo. There we go, there's the word. But yeah, I was quite happy to return to YouTube, and I would continue uploading a bit more with a different form of video. Chapter 3, my first success and my last video. After many rant videos, I ended up deciding that I did not want to make Fortnite content anymore. However, I did have my success. There was one video I did before I left Fortnite called I Solved Fortnite's Biggest Mystery. Fun fact, that video was completely wrong. It was all for a collab. But anyway, it saw some success overnight. It gained hundreds of views, almost reaching like nearly 1,000 views. It's my second most viewed video to this day, and I'm quite proud of it. It's a shame that the theory was wrong, but you know, Fortnite, their collabs, you know, I understand why they did it. No spoilers for the video. But yeah, I decided in the end that I did not want to do Fortnite content anymore, mainly just because I think that just ranting about a game does not make it fun, and I don't think any kind of hate should really go towards Fortnite. It's still an amazing game, and yeah, I just decided it wasn't really gaining enough traction anymore, and I just stopped. While my editing improved, it was sadly just the end of an era. And with it, I mean, I had to change the game. I was thinking of ideas and what I could do differently to, like, instead of just ranting all the time. Or I, I just needed something that a YouTuber doesn't normally do. And I think that part of that was moving on from Fortnite. I still play it. I still upload wherever I can. But kind of the very last few videos on Fortnite were in Chapter 5. My very latest one was in Chapter, let's see, Chapter 6, Season 2. That was the last time I uploaded Fortnite. Mainly just because it just doesn't seem to be popular on the channel. I know what you guys want, so I don't really upload Fortnite anymore. Instead, I upload what you guys want to see. And clearly, part of that was leaving Fortnite behind. It was amazing while it lasted, though. And I also just, like, I built such a strong community. People were loving it. I also helped with, like, V-Bucks scams and stuff, like, preventing them from happening. And it gained quite a lot of traction, and I gained a few fans from it. Unfortunately, though, I feel like most of those fans are gone with this new era, and overall my channel started to see a decline in popularity from Fortnite viewers just because I didn't do Fortnite anymore. Which is a shame because I really did enjoy doing Fortnite content, and I wish to do more of it. But unfortunately, it's not what's gaining traction anymore. I don't know why though, but you know, it's just something that you have to do. Sometimes when you're a YouTuber, you need to move on and start something new. In my case, I had to move on from Fortnite in order to upload Among Us content. And while it didn't necessarily serve as, like, amazing at first, there was one thing that kind of happened as a weird oddity on the first Among Us Live that I ever did. Don't give up in the future, you'll be popular. What in the actual tarnation? This guy literally just joined the stream and was able to predict the future. Like, what? I don't think many of you can actually comprehend what that means to someone that's small. Like a small YouTuber on a tiny scale. Nobody's ever heard of him outside of Fortnite, and he's doing new content, and we've already got somebody saying, oh, don't give up in the future, you'll be popular. Something with those kind of words motivated me to do it more. So I did more of them. I did a second one, then a third one, fifth, sixth, ninth, and it just kept on going. And it was at that point I was like, screw Fortnite. I can do something better. I can make Among Us content. It's fantastic. So yeah, that is what I did. I did essentially do that. I created more of an Among Us fan base than a Fortnite fan base. And while people did leave because I wasn't uploading Fortnite content anymore, that's just how the world of YouTube works. If you're not doing something that somebody likes watching you for, then they're just going to unsubscribe. That's unfortunately how it is. Even though I don't recommend you unsubscribe because I have amazing content planned. But anyway, it was around this time that I started to kind of experiment with different types of content because while Among Us was fun, it didn't have a whole lot to do. So what I decided was I should probably make some kind of series, maybe like a cinematic type thing. And that's where the Kaizen comes in. Now the Kaizen, unfortunately the future of it is a bit uncertain because just many complications and stuff have prevented me from doing like the rest of the series. And I've mainly been busy, so I haven't found the time to do it. But essentially, it's about a guy who just steals stuff. He's trying to take down like some other robber in the world of GTA. And the first episode was pretty good, actually. Got over 100 views, and it was very successful. It was great. I felt amazing about it. The next 2 episodes didn't perform as well. The third one performed second best, and the second one performed the worst. And it was at that point I was like, well, what am I supposed to do here? Because I can't tell if people really like it or if they really hate it. What am I going to do? So the future is still uncertain, and I'm still debating whether to consider, continuing it to this day. So, moving on. The other thing that really happened for me during this time as well was a video where I got imposter 4 times back to back. And that got 700 and something views. I'll put the actual number on the screen at the time when I find it at the time of recording. But it was insane. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go full out. And during this break where I've not got any work or anything like that, I'm going to focus on YouTube. And that's kind of where we've gotten up to today. I've got Delta Productions, which will be in charge of more cinematography type stuff, even though I don't really do cinematography as a kind of subject, if you will. But yes, they will be kind of helping with cinematic projects. So we've got Ben, we've got Bonnie, we've got Emmy, we've got Daily, we've got everyone in the group that will be able to help with all these projects. And I do want to shout them out because without them, essentially, some of this stuff could not be possible. Another thing as well, Ben, who I've mentioned a few times in the previous video, is the Plasma Warrior. He recently celebrated 1 year of his channel. Technically it's been 6 years, but those are on his other channels. And I would highly recommend you check them out, as well as everyone else's channels as well. Bonnie's, Daily's, everyone's. And it's great that we've kind of built this community together. It's not been an easy journey. I did have a period of time where I focused on the Kaizen too much. And I kind of left YouTube's kind of inner circle for a while. I also, unfortunately, had my pet pass away, Lazzy, which further complicated things. So when I wanted to return, unfortunately, his passing did prevent that. And it was very sad. Obviously, it's very tragic when you lose a pet. But I eventually came back after a while, and we got back into firing the Amongst Lives into full gear, and now we're basically just doing that now. Hopefully, though, you guys did enjoy this kind of story of kind of like where I've kind of come from. What I plan to do is realistically just kind of continue what I'm doing, but maybe change up the game every now and then. I know it's not going to perform as well. I'm aware of that, but I just want to do something new. I may seem like happy all the time with this Among Us stuff, but sometimes I can get bored. So don't expect Among Us 100% of the time. But I will continue to do it nonetheless. It's just I want to change up the genre. A bit like what we had with Fortnite, except I don't step away from the game completely, unlike what happened previously. But yeah, hopefully you all did enjoy. Let me know down in the comments if you want to hear more about my stories of the channel and stuff. Be sure to subscribe to everyone in Delta as well to make games fun, essentially. Memes always do beat sweat, no matter what game it is. It always beats them. Trust me in that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.